All right, today we're going to set up the photo booth. There are all the pieces to the photo booth here next to me on the ground. I'm going to take you through how to do the setup, the wiring, how to get the printer going, and then if there's any troubleshooting at the end, we'll cover that as well. This is the props bin, tablecloth, and a power strip. This is the iPad stand. This unit right here on the ground, this has most of the equipment in it. It's got the printer in it. It's got all the wires and the connecting cables for the camera to the iPad into it. Folding table, a stand, and a ring light that goes on top of the stand. That's all the equipment that you'll need. And we're gonna go ahead and set it up. Now we're down here in my basement, which is also my studio. But at the venue, there will be a backdrop. And next to the backdrop, there's going to be a spot for you to plug in the power strip. But for me, it's going to be over here. So we're going to set it up as though it's taking pictures this direction. First thing we'll do is we'll get the stands where they're supposed to be. Just a quick tip. The way that you know that this is set up properly is that these supports need to be horizontal, parallel to the floor. So you don't want them to look like this, where they start to move upwards. That's too much. You want them to be about there, so they're horizontal. So what that looks like from the beginning, you've got the stand, you've got a bunch of different twist knobs on it. Just loosen it up enough to where you can move the thing. Don't undo the twist knob 100% because then you have to redo it 100% and it might fall out. So, and that goes right behind the iPad stand. It just sits right on top of the stand, tightens in. And you want the camera, which is going to go right here. The camera will go right here in the middle of the ring light. You want that to be at about your face level, so that the camera's looking right at someone's face without having to tilt too much. Likewise with the iPad, you don't want this up too high. If it's up too high, then it's going to block the camera, and they need to be very close to each other, because if this is like super far in the front and the camera's taking pictures of people, you're going to get the iPad, it's Microsoft Surface, you're going to get the Surface in every shot at the bottom where it's going to block people's faces. So put them really close to each other. Make sure it's not too tall so people can still mess with the iPad. Next, we're going into the main bag. Inside of this bag, in the zipper section at the top, the Microsoft Surface goes in here. The arms open up like that. Two USB-C connections at the top, and at the bottom it's got a power spot. I usually put this in where the power connector spot is on the top and the USB-C slots are on the bottom, and you'll see why in just a minute. All right, you kind of lock them in there. On the back of this stand is a yellow switch. That is what, just like that, just really easy. That's what locks the arms into place so that no one can steal the Surface Pro or it doesn't fall out. So that's the basic setup there. Next, we'll throw up our table in a location that is going to be convenient for people to grab their photos and grab props and stuff like that. But you don't want the table to be in the way of the flow of traffic as people come into and out of taking their pictures. So this table is great because it's got extending legs. So you just gotta get the legs up to a comfortable height and check that the support legs are fully extended. Make sure that it's stable because the printer is heavy and the printer is going on top of it. If we go into this bag here, we're going to find a smaller bag. This has the camera, which you should be gentle with. And it's also got a big mess of wires, which might look intimidating, but it's not that many, and they actually, once you get a sense of it, it kind of all makes sense. So the first one you're going to want to separate out is this guy. It's the power for the Surface Pro. It's got, this is at the end, this is at the other end. And he just clips right into the Surface Pro. You undo that lock that we did earlier so we can move the arms. And he just clips right into the Surface Pro at the top. And then you can tighten those arms down again and secure that lock. Next up, this one right here has this funky battery looking thing on the end of it. And this is what the middle piece looks like. This is the continuous battery for the camera. So we're going to set that aside for a moment. And as we're going through our wires here, this guy, simple, basic power cord. It's got this kind of an end piece to it. This is the power to the ring light. And he just plugs right into the back here. This next one is what allows the Surface Pro to communicate with the camera and also with the printer. So it's a USB-C dock. It has USB, old school USBs that come out. One of them goes to the printer, one of them goes to the camera. And we can just plug them right into the bottom. Kind of a tight squeeze, but one of the USB-C slots, it will fit without having to move the arms. This one is one of the ones that comes out of that USB-C hub. It's an extender. This is the only white cable. This cable connects the data on the camera to the Surface Pro, and it goes into the extender because it's kind of short. Like that. And it may already be connected, but just in case it's not. The other cable coming out of that USB-C hub that we just plugged in is a printer cable, and he will go into the printer once we're set up with the printer. All right, camera. Nice DSLR camera. It's got a lens cap on it. Once you're done setting up, remember to take the lens cap off. The first thing you're going to want to do is get the camera onto the ring light before you put the battery in. On the bottom of the camera, there's a screw spot, and on the ring light, there's a screw spot. So you're just going to take it and here, set them on there. Make sure you have good hands on it so that the camera doesn't slip out and fall to the ground. And give yourself some twists, twisting the camera onto that screw. And once he's on there, you can adjust it. You know, it's on like a ball, so you can roll it around if you need to once you're set up. But for now, we're going to leave him down because we need to get the battery into the battery slot. The battery slot is on the bottom of the camera, and it'll just open up just like that. Once the camera's on there, you can put the continuous battery into it. It has these 3 little spots on it. You can look up inside and you can see it. It's like a normal battery. It has to go in the right way. And he just slips in there. You'll hear a little click. There's a little gray lever that clicks it closed. And there's a spot for the cord to come out so that you can close the battery cover. The camera won't turn on and it won't work if the battery cover is not closed. All right, once that's on there, we can put the camera back up straight. This is the other end of the battery, continuous battery. It's just a regular plug. It's going to go into our power strip. If you remember from earlier, we have the one white cable in the setup that's connected to the extender, and it goes into the USB-C hub into the Surface Pro. That white cable is the data cable for the camera. On the side of the camera, there's a slot. here's a better view of the camera getting the data cable in there. Right here, there's a little tab that comes out, kind of hangs there on a little rubber strap. If you look inside, it's got a few different things, but that one in the middle is the one for our data cable. And that's it. It goes right in there. White cable comes down. Now you've got 3 wires running from this ring light. You've got a data cable, power for the camera, and power for the ring light. So you want to just get all those together so that later when you tape it to the pole, everything looks somewhat clean. So now we've got the camera set up, we've got the Surface Pro set up. We're going to plug everything into the power strip, and we're going to set up the printer. It's a good idea to put the tablecloth down before you put the printer on it. Otherwise, you're going to have to put the printer back and then the tablecloth out. I've forgotten to do that before, and it's annoying. All right, and now the printer. The printer is delicate, it's fragile, it's heavy, but it should be handled with care. Don't ever turn it upside down or shake it around. Just try to be gentle with it. There's only 2 plugs on the printer. There's a power plug and there's a data plug, which is the USB-C that comes from the Surface Pro. So it's pretty simple. Paper, ink, everything else like that, it's all in there. It's set up and ready to go. So you just need to basically plug it in and make sure that it's not jammed or anything. Goes into the back there. It's not too long, so probably want the power strip somewhere underneath this table or close to your setup. Data cable for the printer is this one that we just hooked into the Surface Pro. And he goes right into the top back here. Printer. There's an on switch for it on the bottom right hand corner near the front. On the front of the printer, there should just be a green light on. If there's a red light or a yellow light or whatever, call me. But there should just be a green light on. It should just be working. Now that we have all the wires plugged in, we're going to take a quick second and handle the cables. We're going to use some of the gaffer tape to organize things and make it look not so messy. Here's your gaff tape. I like to take a couple of pieces off, just pro tip, and just stick them onto your clothes. They come on and off really easily, and it means that you have them available to you as you're going through and doing a bunch of these. You don't have to keep going to the tape and tearing off new pieces. You can also tear them in half lengthwise, because you just don't need that much tape to do this. It's not load bearing, it's just to make it look nice. Here are our 2 stands with the wires. Just get the wires together in your hands so that they look nice. All 3 of them together. This is the ring light. And you're just gonna tape them like that so that they run down the back of the light. There's no trick to this, just make it look not messy. That's your goal. Same thing with the Surface Pro. There's 2 or 3 wires coming off of it. It helps to take this USB-C hub and tape it somewhere first, because it's kind of heavy compared to the wires, and you just really want it to stay in one spot. And that took me 3 pieces of tape that I tore in half. So that's about what it is. Everything's plugged in. Everything's set up. I'm going to take off the lens cap. That's going to go into the bag the printer came out of. Close him up. Stick him underneath the table where he's out of sight, out of mind. Tape I like to keep in the props bin. And you can start to set some stuff up. You know, hey, photo booth sign, really important props. You know, bunch of fun stuff, kind of make it look nice on the table. Inside of the printer box is this little guy. He's a catch for the photos when they come out. And he just hooks right into the front of the printer like that. So there's two little notches for him in the front, and he just hooks in. And the photos will come out there. Okay, cool. That's generally the setup, right? Now we got to make sure that it's all working. You turn the Surface Pro on the side. Should be on the lower left-hand corner if you did things correctly. And you just swipe up from the bottom. It may have a sign-in screen. If there's no password, you just click sign in. All right, now we've got DSLR booth. That's the only blue icon on the thing. Right there, double tap that. This is what it looks like when it pops up. The event that you're doing will have the name of the event here and usually the date. So I'm going to use an old one for this example. Up here in this corner it says launch event. Select the event that is for your date and go to launch event. It should immediately just pop up with this take a photo screen. And make sure that your camera's on. Sometimes I forget to do that. And as long as the camera's on, it will immediately show up on the screen and you can see, hey, here I am. Let's just test it out. Take a photo. It's going to take 3 in order. And you got to remind people to look at the camera and not at the iPad, because the tendency is to look at the iPad, but the camera is taking the picture. So if you want to be looking at the camera, then you need to look at the actual camera. On this screen, you can, like, you know, put some funny glasses on too. You know, oh, I've got cool glasses. All right, next. Shows you the preview of the strip with a timer that counts down at the top. And you just click print. How many copies? 2. It defaults to 2. And immediately coming out of here, we will get our strips. And you can see I've got my cool glasses on. Got our 3 photos. And that's that. To where you were. So there you go. Hit the lock button. Right now there's no camera connected, but yeah, let's hit the lock button. 1, 3, 1, 3. Now you're open. Maximize, you're out. And at that point, you're set up. If at any point in any of that process something goes wrong, just give me a call. Basically, you're plugging everything in, you're setting everything up, you're making it look nice with the wires, you're opening the event on the iPad or the Surface Pro, and then you're running it, you're giving it a test. I forgot to turn on the ring light for this demonstration. There, the ring light is on. It's got like a brightness knob here that you can adjust, but that's basically it. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. But there's your setup video for the photo booth. Have fun. Okay, I thought it would be a good idea to show you how to break everything down quickly too. It's not exactly in the same reverse step as what the setup was, so just so that you know. First thing you want to do is turn everything off and unplug everything. That's the first step in any breakdown. Turn off all the devices and unplug everything from the power strip, unplug everything from each other, and just make sure that there are no wires connected anywhere so that nothing gets tugged or pulled. So that's the first step. You do have to tilt the camera pretty far down in order to get the battery back out again. So, but you'll want to do that before you twist the camera, because otherwise the wire gets wrapped around the camera mount. Takes a little bit of finagling, but it does work. Make sure you police your trash. Don't like leave a bunch of gaff tape scraps balled up all around the spot. Make sure you take all the trash and make it look good when you leave too. Props go back in the prop bin. Here's all of your cables. If you did a good job of unplugging them when you were taking down at the first part, it should be pretty easy just to kind of gently put them in here. You don't need to wind them up too tightly or anything like that. Just kind of make sure they all fit into the bag. Surface Pro, it goes into this mesh top here on the bag. Just open that up. Stick that guy in there. Close them up. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't think there's a zipper on the bag here. I think it fell off for the ring light. So just get him in the bag. Make sure he's nice and secure. It's kind of annoying to undo these, but it's nice that they're adjustable, because you have to get the legs down to get the table collapsed. And there you have it. That's what you need for the photo booth. That's the setup and the takedown. It's pretty straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions.